Hello, Anne Marie. How are you? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, I can't hear you.
You can't.
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can't hear you.
Okay, let me
You're
see.
not muted, are you?
No. Let me see.
I don't hear you. My video's on and my audio's on, but I can't hear you. And my computer is
I can hear
all
you
the way
perfectly
up.
fine. Let me see if I am muted here.
And I'm not muted.
Bob.
I wonder what's happening.
Okay, mute.
Huh.
Audio stop.
I see Bob's on. Can Bob hear you?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. Bob, can you hear
Let's
me?
see if I can hear Bob.
Yeah, hold on. I can hear you guys. I'm good. Oh,
Okay, Faith, can you hear me?
hold on, let
I
me
can,
start the video.
yes.
Okay,
Anything.
so Anne
I'm
Marie,
good. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear
Can
you.
see you.
All right, I'm
Let's
just
see.
studying a few notes here for
Use
Brad.
your
And
ringtone.
Prab
No.
should join us any moment now.
Testing speaker.
I know
Can
that I
Bob
have.
hear you?
Bob can hear me.
Yes, can you hear me?
Let's see.
I still can't hear anything.
Wait, hold on here.
Faith, you can hear me. Is that right?
I can hear
Yeah.
you guys. Can you guys hear
I can't
me?
hear you
Yes, I
guys.
can hear you, Bob.
Okay, because I'm not a quiet kind of guy. So
I can't hear.
You can't hear Anne Marie. Anne Marie's the only one. And Prab is the agent
Internal
today.
microphone.
yeah.
I talked. There he is. Hello, Prab.
How are you?
Good, good, good.
I don't
Can
know
you hear
what's
me?
happening.
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect.
I'm gonna try to come back in.
Well, I never use the this thing, but this is the first day, so hopefully.
It's
Audio on
exactly
your radio
the
and your
same
computer.
thing as Zoom.
Oops.
It's
Mhm.
not
Yes.
any different. It's
Yes.
exactly the same technology, the same setup.
Yeah.
The only thing is that
Meeting.
instead of Zoom, they're like sister companies, so it's exactly the same. So the only difference between this one is that we can go on extended. And the one thing that I mentioned that I still haven't got it, almost, at least we have recorded all of the events. Haven't put it on YouTube on a private channel. So each one of us can watch the videos on our own. Other than that, but they have been recorded. So all I gotta do is
Yeah.
put them up.
All right.
And Anne Marie logged out and
Prab, you've
Okay.
got those lights shining down on you.
Is it better?
Can
No.
you see your screen? That's better.
yeah, that's better.
A little. Still,
Yeah.
still like there's some light shining down from heaven.
There's so many lights in my office, I guess.
There you go.
Okay, Prab, it's all yours.
All right.
Who's gonna be the seller?
I'm the seller.
Then Rob is
Bob is the.
Bob. I
Okay,
always call him.
that's okay.
Where did Anne Marie go?
I think that
Shall
she's
we go
trying.
ahead?
I think she's
Shall we-
in here. She's going in and out. She's coming back.
Shall we
My
go ahead
phone.
right into the presentation, or shall we go start with a pre-qualification?
Knock, knock. You're at the door.
All right.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready, but I logged in from my phone, and I don't think we can do screen share, but if you can open up the email that I sent to you, that'll be
Okay,
good to
yeah,
go.
I got everything opened up, Brad. I'm good.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Anyone can
Knock-
share their screen.
Yeah, but I didn't download in my laptop, so I'll just use my phone,
Okay.
and we'll just he can open up the file I sent him, and we'll just go on the computer.
Okay.
So knock, knock, knock.
Hello.
Hello, Bob.
Hey, you,
This
Pratt,
is Pratt
right?
Beach here. That's correct, Bob.
awesome. Come on in, Pratt. Come on
Well,
in. Let me
thanks
show
a
you
lot.
around. Yeah,
Thanks a lot,
come on
Bob.
in.
Thanks again having me over, and I'm
Yeah.
excited about getting your home on the market, and most
Awesome.
importantly, getting it sold.
Yeah. Can I get you coffee or a bottle of water or something?
Well, I can appreciate that. Thanks a lot. And
Maybe a beer? I don't know. Maybe you want a beer.
my question, do you mind if I take a quick look on your house?
No, help yourself. You want me to show you around or?
Well, you know what? I want to take a look how buyers are going to take a look for the first time. And shall we sit here at the coffee table? Do you prefer a dining table?
Yeah, dining room table's fine. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Living
right.
room's a little bit of a mess, so don't mind my mess.
All right. So
Yeah.
Bob, house exactly shows that like you described me over the phone. And I wrote down 3 real important questions for you.
Sure.
My first question is, do you still need to get your home sold?
Yeah, I got to get it sold. There's no doubt about that. Yeah.
Fantastic. And will you price your home to sell, or do you want to keep it on the market for a long period of time?
Well, I mean, I don't want to keep it on the market for a long time, but I do need the most amount of money I can get from the sale, Prab. It's very important. And, you know, I just want to know, you know, what it is that you're going to do different than all the other agents. You know, I keep hearing the same story over and over again. I want to know what you're going to do different.
Well, I
You
can
know,
appreciate.
kind of a concern of mine when I look at all the other agents out there, you know.
Okay. Okay. If what I'm going to do different, we'll go over on that in a minute. But my
Okay.
question is, if we can get your sold sign in the next 2 weeks, will that cause a problem?
If you can get it sold in the next 2 weeks, would that cause a problem? No, I mean, I got to go. I mean, it's going to, you know, I have to rush, pack a little bit more, but other than that, no.
Fantastic. So why did you go ahead and sign the contract, put me to work?
Yeah, you know, I got to look at this price a little bit. You know, I'm a little easy about it. I was kind of hoping to get more, you know. You know, I kind of want to know exactly what it is that you're going to do for me.
All right.
To the other agents, you know.
All right. So Bob, at the end of my presentation today, one of 3 things will happen. You will have the opportunity to list a home with me, or
Right.
you will decide not to list a home with me, or
Okay.
I will decide not to take the listing. And anyone is
why
fine.
Why would you not take my listing? I mean, it's a big house. It's a good,
It is a big house, Bob.
it's good money.
It
It'd be
is.
crazy not to take this listing. You know?
Well, you know what? If we can come to an agreement on pricing that sends to the
Right.
market, I'm
Okay.
not gonna waste your time.
No, I appreciate it. I'm a busy guy, so.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
that fair?
Yeah, that's fair. You sure you don't want any coffee or anything to drink or a bottle of water?
Well, I like to get a water, bottled water. Yeah.
Here you go. There you go.
All right. So let's quickly take a moment to review the question that I asked you over the phone, Bob.
Yeah.
And you said you're moving to LA, correct?
Yeah, oh yeah, LA. Yeah.
Yeah. And you said you're moving because of the job transfer.
Job transfer and, you know, the way things are going, I'm hoping to scope up some, you know, investment properties while I'm out there as well, too. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to moving to LA. This is great. Yeah.
Very good. And you said you need to be there by latest by August the 15th, correct?
Yeah, I would like to be there a little sooner. I mean, my job, you know, starts at the beginning of September. So, yeah, that August 15th is really the latest. You know, I kind of want to get settled in and enjoy a little bit of it, you know, kind of get my feet on the ground and get acclimated.
Fantastic. And now you said you like to price your home at $975,000. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was looking at. You know, I mean, it's LA ain't cheap. You know.
Yeah, it is. It is not cheap. Yeah, 975. I see my notes here. And you said you owe about 200,000. Is that correct?
Yes, it's right around that area.
And now you aren't planning to sell by yourself, are you?
No. I don't.
All right.
My schedule,
And-
I don't have the time, and I mean, I could save some money, but for what I do, Brad, it's not worth my time.
It's not worth it. And rather you have a professional who can
Work
do the
on my
job
own
done for
car,
you.
but I prefer not to.
All right. And you do want your cash out, correct?
Yeah, I'm not helping the financing. I'm not doing any seller financing. I have a couple of rentals. They pay for themselves, but this home's got a lot of history and a lot of love in it, and I just can't see having a tenant in it. And I need the money. I need that money to move into whatever I choose to buy out in LA. So.
Right. So Bob, now there are only two issues we got to look today.
Right.
Number one, your motivation to sell this home and
Yeah.
move to LA. And
Right.
number two, the price that we set in your home.
Right.
All right. And I have prepared what we call a comparative market analysis for your property. And there are two parts of this research,
Right.
Bob. Part one, we jokingly call it a fantasy land, where homeowners list their properties. And part two,
So
we
you
call
thinking I'm in fantasy land?
well, we call it fantasy land
Is
because
this a reference to Disney or something? What's going on here?
yeah. And part two, we call it reality, where we're professional real estate agents, agent list and sell homes for.
Right.
That makes sense? And
Yeah.
we got to decide today, where are you going to spend your time?
I see where you're coming from on that.
All right. And Bob, the purpose of this CMA or comparative market analysis is to determine the value of your home in the eyes of a buyer. And do you know how buyers determine value?
I mean, I'm sure they determine value by, I don't know, they shop around.
Absolutely. They shop around. They determine value by comparison shopping.
Yeah.
They take a look on your home based on its features and benefits and compare it with the similar features and benefits of the homes which are either currently on the market or have been recently sold. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. So, what do you think about the price that, my price? I saw you had a much lower price, but now that you've here and saw my house, where do you think I'm at as far as price?
Well, my question is, if I could help you to get a price that makes sense to the market, and you know that that's the most market value you can get in today's date,
right?
Will you list a home with me today?
Well, I mean, I got to hear what you got to say. I mean, I just think there's a few extra things I've done to the house that maybe some of the other houses, the other owners haven't done. And I think I could get a little bit more dollar for it. Mean, hardwood floors that I put in are definitely not your average hardwood floors. I mean, there's a lot of upgrades when it comes to that. And I spent probably about 3 times as much as someone would on regular hardwood flooring for the floors that I put in place. So if that can be, if these things that I've done to the home can be amplified and, just really advertised and described, I mean, I figured I would be able to get more money for it. And that kind of comes down to, what you're going to do in order to get my home sold. I mean, I got to give you credit. I mean, the package you put together was really, really nice. I mean, the last guy came with a CMA rolled up in his back pocket or inside his jacket. I don't know. It came out all coffee stained and wrinkled. And I said, who is this guy? Where did we get this guy from? So,
right.
But I really, I'm just, LA it's a big move for me.
And it is a big move. It is
every
a big
little
move.
penny I can get,
Yes. And I understand where you're coming from, Bob. Let me give you an example. I totally understand you did work in the home and all that. Let me give you an example. The example of, let's say if you go to shop a car, right?
Right.
And you are shopping around, you go to the one dealership, they have this car for, let's say, for $50,000.
Right.
And you're shopping, or you're doing comparison shopping, you go to the second dealership, they had the same car for $50,000, but it had a premium package and alloy wheels. which car would be more valuable?
Well, if one has more items in it, then that one's going to be the more valuable car. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, no brainer. You're paying the same amount of money, but you're paying
Yeah.
you're getting a better product, right?
Right, and that's kind of where mine's got a lot of extras in it. Mine's that car with the
Well,
interior. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Well, what if the first dealership puts the car for sale with no premium package, and they say it's 40,000 is the price on that one, which would be a better
Right.
value then?
if they lowered the price, you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Well, I guess it depends on your taste, but I mean, for all intents and purposes, yeah. I mean, imagine some people would probably go with the lower price car and then add in what they want. I would imagine, but yeah, I kind of see where you're going with that. Yeah.
Right. So what I mean is, as you can see, if you want to increase the value, either you can lower the price or
Right.
add more features and benefits to your home, which you have done, correct?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So my question is, you did some updates, but still it's a 32 years old home, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So price is the only issue. Can I show you what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
we're
so-
here all about. I want to know this, how you're comparing my home to the other homes,
Yes, that's right. Let's look into that. And if you go on the package that I sent you, I'm assuming that we are doing it in person, right? So
Yeah.
yeah. So if you look at those active homes which are currently on the market, is going to be in your competition. And Bob, if you look at this address here, 13554 66A Avenue. Do you know this neighborhood?
Which one is that?
13554 66A,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And this home exactly look like yours. Look at the lot size, 7,200 square feet, correct?
Yeah.
And how many bedrooms does it has?
It's a 4-2.
4 beds and 2 baths, correct?
Yeah.
And look at the age of the home,
1982.
1982.
Yeah.
And you know what? This being listed almost like 117 days on the market. And look at the square footage, 1,625, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
And I did confirm with the listing agent, they don't have any offer on the property.
Yeah.
And Bob, if
I don't know if you're familiar with this house. I heard that someone died in this house a while back, and everybody thinks it's haunted. So I don't know if that had something to do with it, though.
well, I understand where you're coming from. On the other hand, there's some other homes are in competition too. If you go on the next comp, which is 13866 66 Avenue,
Okay. Yeah.
which is a bigger lot. Look at the lot size on this one.
And that's
It's a 10,000 square foot property, right?
hold on. I'm trying to flip through the pages here. Which house is this one you're saying?
13866 66 Ave,
Yeah. Yeah.
a 10,000 square feet property. And how many bedrooms and bathrooms does it has?
It's a 4-3.
It's a 4-3, right?
Well, 4.5. Yeah.
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 And look at the age of the house.
Yeah. 86. Yeah.
Built in 1986. And what price are they asking?
Well, the 919,000. Yeah.
919,000. And look at the size of the home, 2,000 square feet, correct?
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong. I mean, I looked at this earlier. There's got to be something wrong with that. I should have sold. Maybe that agent really stinks, because I would have still be on the market this whole time,
Well, I did confirm with the listing agent and they do have an accepted offer on this one.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you go to the
There
third,
is hope for my house.
I'm sorry?
You're saying there is hope for my house.
Absolutely, there's always, and that's why I'm here. And if we're gonna go on third comp, 7546 143rd Street, which is exactly like yours.
Yeah.
And look, this is how big the property, 20,000 square feet.
Yeah, that's really big.
It's
Yeah.
really big. And look what price are they asking?
Wow. Why so cheap?
$899,
Yeah.
right? The only reason there is so cheap because half of the property has a creek in it, and they're asking $899. Can't even sell it for $899.
Well, half the property has a creek in it. I thought a creek would be a good thing. I would enjoy a creek, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to show you the market results. Like somebody put the home on the market and someone decided to buy it. And if you go on the property address, 14392 Highland Road.
Okay, Highland Road. Yeah.
Which is just 1 block away from your property, correct?
Yeah. I
And
thought
have you?
the house for a lot more than that, you know. I always liked that house.
I'm sorry, can you say it again?
I thought they were selling that house for more than that, 949. I thought they were asking well over $1 million.
Yeah, they were asking
I always liked that
949.
house.
And look, what price did they get?
Yeah, well, 949.
949 was the list asking price, and they ended up selling for 900,000.
900,000. That's crazy. They gave that house away. I'm telling you,
And
right now, Brad, they gave that house away.
well, it took them a good 30 days to get the property sold.
So what do you think right now, Prab, the highest I can get for my house? I mean, what do you?
Well, based on those active and sold comps that you're looking at, I'm going to recommend a price of $925,000, Bob.
That's a $50,000 drop, but
Will you listen home with me for that price today?
yeah, I can, you know, after, you know, I get it. I mean, I'm not stupid. I get it. I also think my neighbors lie a lot too. They're full of shit. I'm telling you right now, because I didn't realize that was that low. And it was well over $1 million, and they sold it for 900,000.
That's what the public record shows.
If I decide to list with you, let me ask you this. I mean, exactly what it is that you're going to do. I mean, all you agents are going to put it on the internet, right? Put a sign in the yard and do an open house. Hell, I could do that myself. I mean, what is it? I mean, why should I choose you than all the other agents?
Well, that's a good question. That's why I'm here. You should choose me because look at the number of sales. Look at my track record. How many homes we have sold in your neighborhood. So in last 3 months, we sold 12 homes in the area. And if we could get you a sold sign in next 30 days and help you to move to LA, are you okay with that?
Yeah, but I mean, there's another agent I've seen his sign around in this neighborhood quite a lot, you know. And he's with Sotheby's. So they claim to be the creme of the creme. So, I mean, what is it that you're going to do differently that they're not going to do? I mean,
well, did you go through my package that I sent to you? Did you take a look on the plan of action that we're going to use to get the property sold?
I kind of strolled through it a little bit, yeah.
So do you think I can get the property sold for you?
Well, I think there's a few agents. I mean, this property will sell itself at, you know, $925,000.
How long your home was on the market before, Bob?
Well, it was on the market for almost, you know, a little over 6 months, 7 months.
Little over 6 or 7 months, right?
Yeah.
And are you prepared to spend next 6 months of your life sitting in this home and not move to LA?
No, but I mean, I really have to come down to a decision. You know, if I drop the price, should I go with my original agent that I used, or should I just get another opinion? I mean, I like what you had to say, but maybe I should get another opinion. maybe I should take a step back and kind of think about it for a little bit,
Well, my question is, are you looking for a passive agent or proactive agent?
Well, I don't want, I mean, I want someone who's proactive, of course. I mean,
So why don't you go ahead and sign the contract, and let me get your sold signed in next 2 weeks.
well, why? I mean, let me ask you this. I mean, what are you going to do differently than my last agent?
Well, what I'm going to do differently in the compared to your last agent.
Yes.
Well, your last agent didn't get the property sold, did he?
No. So I want to.
So my question is, if you go with the last agent, what do you think they're going to do different to get your property sold in next 2 weeks or next 30 days, which they haven't done in last 6 months, Bob?
Right. And so what are you going to do different?
Well, what I'm going to do different is I'm going to get you a sold sticker. I'm going to get you moved to LA. And if that happens to be in the time that you want to be in LA by August the 15th latest, correct?
Well, yeah, but I mean, you still haven't really hit the nail on the head as to what's going to separate you from the last agent,
Well, that's why I'm showing you my track record here, my list to sales ratio. Well, all the homes that we listed sold within 2%, 98% sales to active ratio. Do you understand what that means?
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm a numbers guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So
Yeah.
do you think I can get the job done for you?
Yeah, but can we sign like a 3-month listing agreement? That way there, if you suck, I'm not stuck with you for 6 months.
Well, 6 months is Bob company policy. Therefore, all we need to do is simply sign the contract. I won't do a 3 months contract. 6 months is a company policy, so I got to go by the company policy. Fair enough?
Yeah, well, that's what the last agent said too.
Well, what I can do for you, Bob, is if you are not happy with the next 3 months, which is not going to happen anyways, with my service, you name the agent, I'll have that agent at your service. Fair enough?
Yeah, all right. You better not let me down, Brad.
I'm sorry?
I mean, because I got to be in LA.
Yeah, so go ahead and
I
sign
can't
the
abandon
paper.
this house, man. I just
So
can't. And I need
go
to.
ahead and go ahead and sign the contracts. So let's help you move to LA.
You ain't gonna let me down, are you?
Absolutely not. Here's the pen.
I'll sign.
All right.
He's so tough.
He is tough. He is tough. Okay, Bob, what do you think he did?
I think he did good. I think he was a little monotone compared to me. I think he really hung in there. He spoke very clearly. He brought up his track record, and I'm glad because near the end I wanted him to bring out either go through his marketing plan. What am I going to do differently? Well, let's take a moment and see, and then go through a little bit of his marketing plan maybe. Or at least say my track record speaks for itself on what it is that I do differently.
Yeah.
So I was kind of hungering for that answer, and when he mentioned the track record again, that was satisfactory for me. So yeah, he did really good. I kept throwing things at him, and he kept dodging them and staying right there with me.
I want to bring something up now, Prab. And it may or it may not make a difference, but I think it does make a big difference. Look at yourself where you are, the way that you lean toward the camera right now. Okay, which is a very proactive position. Most of the presentation, you were leaning back on your chair and you were like nonchalant, like it's okay, you were just like not, I felt like you were doing good for the most part, but you were really like taking it too soft.
Hmm.
When you go to a real listing presentation, you want to be like you are right now, leaning forward, engaged, looking at the people's eyes, right straight in their eyes, and commanding your presence. For the most part, you were just like sitting back, leaning back with your arm on the sidearm. You know your line, you know your arm, you know your lines, and you were really engaged. And I feel more commanding gestures from you as opposed to the past. But when you are in that listing presentation, you are showtime.
Yes.
You're there. You're like, I'm gonna eat you up. You're my prey. I'm gonna hunt you down. I'm gonna hunt you down, and I'm gonna hunt you down. I'm gonna go after you no matter what. You got to be engaged. You're engaged right now in that position you're in. You're engaged. Before you were just like sitting back, leaning back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
These are
Body
things.
language. Yeah.
Body language.
Yeah.
Exactly. And body language is so important because it means that you want that listing. You're going to fight for that listing. You're going to sell them that house. You're going to give them the service they deserve.
Right.
It's kind of what I like about this Zoom thing because I can see what you guys are and you want to go for the juggler.
Mm.
You started closing early. You were your tonalities by far has come a long way. You know, you know your closing lines, but you were not totally cohesive in them. You were just like pulling from different sources instead of just like strained with one. But you were closing and you were closing regularly. I think that there's certain things that you can work on that it will make you a lot more engaging. What do you think, Faith?
I said I really liked how you were using your hands. It wasn't too much and it was just right. So as he was talking about like kind of the body language, I have to agree with that. You have a nice smile, maybe smile a little more. You did say right in the beginning, you said, do you want to sit at the kitchen table or the coffee table? I would have just said, let's sit at the dining room table or wherever, because you need a table, number one, plus, just taking charge, I think. I think Hector said a lot of things, so I'm going to just leave it at that.
And what about you, Anne Marie?
I agree with the body language, but I did make a note. I like the angle. I happen to be at home sitting at my dining room table. So behind me, it's a wall and a picture. I like that you're in the office and I can see more of you. But I do agree your body language was very relaxed. I think you did okay with closing throughout. There was one time when Bob said, maybe that agent really stinks. And you just kind of let that go. And I thought, oh my God, that's a perfect opportunity to close and say, yeah, they do stink. That's exactly why you need to hire me. Sign the contract. So I think there were a couple times that you missed some closings. The two biggest things is the motivation. You didn't keep bringing up, let me get you to LA, let me get you to LA. Maybe even talking about the timeline, because we're already mid-June. Getting it on the market, getting it sold, and getting him there by August is really a tight timeline. But the biggest thing that I noticed was Bob asked at least 5 times, what are you going to do differently?
What are you going to do? Yes, yes.
At least 5 times that I remember.
Yes.
And you did say track record 2 or 3 times, but you should have said my track record. Pull out my 18-point marketing plan. You know what? As soon as I leave this house, I'm going to go door knock and let your neighbors know that I've taken your listing. I'm on the phone 3 to 4 hours a day. I contact 20. Like, you need to have that bullet points in your head and just start spewing them out. And Bob would have been like, where do I sign?
Hmm.
I was digging for that.
That's
Yeah.
that's a good point, and I think I was not prepared to handle that, and that's why I brought my track record, and I honestly was not prepared how to answer that. So that's why I brought the sales ratio and all that. So
Yeah,
because to
which
get
is
him,
yeah,
yeah,
which is the right answer. But and he
yeah,
kept digging. I think
yes,
if it
but he
wasn't
had to,
it might like if it was truly a client, they might have said, okay, you answered the question, and then they might not have signed the contract. But Bob kept digging. What are you doing differently? But having those
yes,
bullet points, let's bring out the, I'm on the phone, I'm door knocking, I'm blah, 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 blah.
yeah,
They
yeah,
can't say anything.
yeah.
That's
You really helped me to handle that in future.
And you did great when Bob said, I'll just call my other agent. And you said, well, what are they going to do differently? And again, another opportunity to say, this is what I do differently. That's the biggest thing I took
Yes.
away from that.
What do you think, Bob Prep, of your presentation?
Well, I think at one point when Bob was bringing the same thing which Anne-Marie mentioned, what you're going to do different, I felt like I'm stuck how to handle that, because he had to bring it three times or four times before I handle that, because at one point I felt stuck. How
Yeah.
to, yeah,
Yeah, that's why Anne-Marie said you should have brought up
yeah,
at that moment your 18-point
that's
plan
correct.
presentation and say, well, I'm glad that you brought that up. Here's my 18-point plan presentation. This is what I'm going to do. And da 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 da. Obviously, we need to do, we're still, I like this Zoom thing because it gives us a possibility of seeing each other more. Boy, can we really learn from body language. And I can and also appreciate that your camera, it's at eye level, as opposed to before you were just like looking below. We still have an issue with Bob. One of these days Bob is going to fix the camera so he's more at eye level.
Right here.
No, you just gotta bring the camera up so it's more. You're looking at
Yeah,
straight. You gotta
yes,
put some books or something like that. So lift it up like Anne-Marie did.
yeah,
I think that next week I want to work a little bit more on the car analogy from all of us. I'm gonna go back to that. I'm probably going to, turn the video cameras off on everybody, so we're just like lights off, and we're just going to be like we're on the phone because we want to practice the drills. So, but we're going to meet exactly in the same place. We're just going to turn the cameras off, and we're just going to work on the drilling of the car analogy among ourselves. And then we're going to come back to this because I think that we need a little bit of work on this area again. Unless anybody has any suggestions or ideas.
Can I ask again? So I like Anne Marie's response to, what are you going to do differently? I just wondered, do you just pick out 2 or 3 things? Because I think I would be stuck too after saying, did you look at my track record? Would you go through the objectives, or would you go right into these are the top 3 things kind of thing that you do?
Are you asking me?
You or
Oh,
anybody? I'm
I
just
think
thinking about handling that. I'm a little uncomfortable, I guess, because I don't feel.
Well, in the past, we would go through the marketing plan
right.
of action. You do about 2 or 3 steps, and then say, "You ready to sign? You want to sign now, or do you want me to continue?"
So you go to the prospecting and door knocking, like the ones that are active, right?
Say that again, Faith.
You go to the active things that you do on the marketing plan.
Yeah, right. I just read off the marketing plan, 2 or 3 steps, and then I ask them for the signature. I believe we've done this in the past, and
Yeah.
if
yeah.
they're ready to sign yet, we'll continue to go.
Okay.
Well,
And if all that exhausts, listen, all quarterbacks throw the same football.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And some are just better than others. There's great mechanics, and there's terrible mechanics, and there's okay mechanics. I'm not a great mechanic. Sign a contract. So there's this, that's another handler. But the marketing plan is probably the best one. Next to the track record, I'd say that's probably the shortest, number 1. Number 2, the marketing plan. And then number 3, maybe what I just said about comparing us to other professions. But number 4, look, Faith, you want to be in LA, right? By August, we'll do what smart sellers do. Sign the contract now so I can start marketing your property right away. I'm so excited. Sign. So it's more signatures, more motivation. It's all that, you know,
Exactly
that
right.
beef stew. It's every ingredient to that beef stew is important.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, I think I haven't used the 18-point plan of action script, I don't know, in months and months. And I think this is a good opportunity for me to review that script. When somebody's asking, what are you going to do? Yeah, here's my 18-point plan of action. And if I had the script ready, go 2-3 lines of plan of action, ask for a signature, close it. If not, then go for next 2 or 3 lines and ask for closing, ask for signatures.
Yeah. And you can tell them, listen, if I go out right now and get you a buyer this weekend, as opposed to waiting another week or something like that, is that better if I bring you a buyer right now? Yeah. So, okay, well, go ahead, sign the contract. Sign. Let's get it over with. And let's sign. Let's get feel assured of yourself that you can sell the property real fast. So
I learned an awesome quote the other day. I wish I usually take credit for it. And I can't think of the salesperson, but it had something to do with another industry. And I love it really when it pertains to us. And we're already involved, but it said, and then I kind of teach this to other agents that are reluctant to do what we do. I say, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. And we're kind of beyond that a little bit, but it still has some relevance to what we're doing, you know?
Yeah. Well, we keep, sharpening up our tools, and we're just continue to work at it, because this is what it's all about. All the prospecting we do, it's all about, showtime, and body language is so important. So, okay, guys, great job.
All right. Thank
See
you.
you next week.
Take care, everybody.
Okay,
Yeah.
so next week is drill for everybody.
Okay.
Have a
All
good
right.
one. Okay, great.
You too.
See you then. Bye.
Awesome.